What up? Today is Day in the Life of a Private Label Seller, episode 2. Stay tuned. All right, so, one thing about being a private label seller, I know for myself, is that my days end later and they start later. That's because talking to China online, they get online right around like 6 p.m. and then they have lunch, I don't know, maybe 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, I feel bad for anybody who's on the East Coast because it's probably even harder to talk with people in China because of the time difference. I was always jealous of people on the East Coast because I used to be on the stock market a lot, and Pacific Standard Time, the market opens at 6 a.m., whereas if you're on the East Coast, it opens at 9 a.m. And I was like, man, it'd be so nice to be able to sleep in a little bit and not have to get up at 6. But now it's all coming back, and it's gonna be nice for me now because I can start talking to China at 6 p.m. Everyone on the East Coast has to be talking to them starting at 9 p.m. and they only have a couple hours unless they're going to stay up till like 4 in the morning. So my nights usually run a little bit later than most, and then I usually sleep in a bit and then I get my day started. It's about 12:30 now. I jumped online. I just want to check what sales were looking like. But now on my wife and I's schedule is to go to the gym. Now, I recommend if you have any type of sit-down job, and I definitely would consider private label a sit-down job. Now, I've had more physical jobs in the past, but you really have to make an effort to get out and make sure you get that heart a-pumping because, being healthy physically is also going to help your mental, which is going to help your business. So I'm going to hit up the gym right now, go there for about an hour, try to get on, the treadmill for about, approximately 1 minute, try to lift some 5-pound weights, try to do at least 2 crunches, and I'll be good to go. So I'll see you guys after that, and I'll let you know what I'm getting into today. All right. All right, I'm back from the gym. And guess what? I'm back out in the wild again. Gym was good. Shot a couple quick jumpers, couple quick crossovers, the bench with the bar only, some air squats, some intense workout. Just kidding. Anyways, so now I am on the way to a photo shoot. Now I have a few different photographers I like to use. So there are 2 different types of images that you'll see on an Amazon listing. You're gonna see lifestyle images. This is the good listing is what I'm talking about. You're gonna see lifestyle images that show like the product in use. Images like the main image, which has an all-white background, because that's, in terms of service, you have to have an all-white background image. For myself, I've seen that I use photographers out of my area and also in my local area. The reason I do that is because I may be a little different than most, but I'm very particular about like how my photos look. I analyze everyone else's listings. I want mine to be perfect. I'm not just gonna take my cell phone out and snap some beauties and say, yeah, this one's good. No, I'm gonna make sure I find somebody who is a professional at photography. So I see a lot of people on Facebook saying, you know what, I've taken a few pictures. I think I'm pretty good at photography. And I've talked about it before in, the cost of doing private label. And I stated that, you want really nice stuff. If you want to sell like with the big boys, you need to make sure you come prepared. And coming prepared, I'm talking about, for example, like we're talking about right now, nice images, clean images, crisp, looking professional. And I know you may think you're a professional photographer because you have an Instagram account, but unless you went to school or you have really done a ton of photography, you know everything about white balance, ISO, f-stop, everything, and you got Photoshop and you're a Photoshop head, you know how to do everything on it. If you don't fit that category, I would highly recommend having a professional take your pictures. As a matter of fact, even if you're that good, I still maybe would, just for time's sake. But so anyway, so for the 2 different types of pictures, I like to use different photographers. So I have found that I kind of have trouble with finding a good photographer for all white background pictures. So I'm so specific, because it's gonna be my main image. I need it to look exactly what I had in mind. Now, maybe you're the type who just says, you know what, here's my product, take some cool pictures and send it to me and you're fine with that. I'm like, I have a vision in my mind of what I want it to look like, and I need it to look like that. Some may say like, oh, well, this little edge is blurry, or a lot of photographers, what I see, they just like crazy brighten up the image so that you can't even see the borders of your items. It's that brightened up. It just like flows into the background. And they think, if I just make this super bright, people will like it. It's things like that maybe the average seller might not notice, but I pay attention to everything. I'm paying attention to shadows. If they're photoshopping shadows in, are the shadows going the same direction? Does it look realistic? I keep jumping around tangents, but so what I found is for my lifestyle images, I can send my product away, and I'm not the most super creative when it comes to lifestyle images. So I can, delegate that out to someone who's really good. I can, rely that they're gonna do a good job. And the guys that I've used have always, they always impress me and amaze me of their creativity. But like I said, those same photographers, however, may not do as good when it comes to all white background. When you're selling on Amazon, a very good Amazon image is different than, what people would consider a good image, because you want to be maximizing all the space on the image. You don't want to have dead area on the image, like on the outside where there's just nothing there. Dang it, I missed my turn. So what I did was I went online and I went on Google and I typed in product photography and, typed in my area. And I started looking through these guys' websites, because a lot of people say they do photography, but then you look through their images and you're like, man, I think I could be a photographer according to this. I found this one guy, man, his stuff was clean. His stuff was so clean. I called him up, and he had a really nice studio. It was awesome because he didn't just say, yeah, draw off your items and then come back later. He let me stay there for the whole shoot, kind of guide him with what I wanted, what my vision was. And he was able to, it's pretty cool. He has this pretty sick setup where his cameras are all hooked to this laptop that he has on this mobile cart. And then he just takes the shots with the cart, from the computer, and then it's boom, live on his computer, and I can check and say like, yeah, let's move this slightly, let's move that. I don't see the logo, let's do that. This little shadow, me being all perfectionist. And so it's awesome. But recently he sold his studio and he moved into like just moved into his garage to do the shots. And I've done one photo shoot here, but I'm about to do the next one. So I'm gonna ask him if he'll let me, film a little bit in there. But anyways, that's what I'm doing right now, taking some all white background photos for my new product that I'm about to launch, which has a couple variations. So anyways, that's where I'm at, that's what I'm doing, and I'm just here. Hey, what's up guys? So just finished up with my little photo shoot with my main man, Bruce, and he's got a really awesome setup here. Let me show you guys real quick. So we just did a shoot where we needed to make sure that we had a nice solid background, and we wanted to get a nice upward angle, like looking down at it. He has a bunch of different backdrops that we use. So there's like white, silver, all sorts of different ones. And then he's got this awesome, like, I don't even know what he calls this, his stand for his camera. And so it's super smooth. Anyway, so he'll take the shots, he'll bracket it, which I had no idea what that meant, but it's like he takes it with different exposures. And then it pops right over here to his computer, and then we're able to like preview it real quick. And it's awesome. So I had a lot of problems with other photographers that I was taking those white background images of, because I would have this idea in my mind of what I wanted, and then when it come back, it'd be so sort of like it. But when I'm here, I'm able to like, oh, let's try this. And I just jump down here, I move it around a little bit, plus he's got some great ideas. Anyway, so I don't do this every single day, but this is just what I did right today. And giving you guys a little sneak peek on what I do. Pulling out of my main man Bruce's place right now. I'm really pumped up about that photo shoot. We got some awesome images. And what's cool about the different photographers I use, a lot of photographers that I see that do private label images, they're like, I'll give you 7 high quality images for X amount of price. Whereas I know when they're shooting these pictures that they're getting tons of images, and what they may not think, right? Because, you know, not a lot of these guys actually sell on Amazon, so they don't know exactly what we want. A lot of them take a ton of images. I know it's not just like the 6 they're willing to send you, and then they want to charge you extra for that. So it's cool because my guys that I use, they're just like, you know what, I'll send you every single image. Maybe I'll touch up the ones that I like or whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll just use one of my guys that I've got from Fiverr or something, who is a Photoshop head, and just have them go in and touch up the rest. And sometimes I want to like cut out different images and like put a couple together. But yeah, so from this little photo shoot that I just did, I'll get, you know, 60 images. And from the guys who I do my lifestyle images with, I'll get, you know, 60 to 70 images to play around with, not just like 6. So anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm heading out. I gotta go run to the store, get some groceries. Then I'm back in front of the computer screen, getting that nice computer tan, right? That nice computer tan. And then I'll knock out trying to upload some of the information for that listing. I gotta do a little keyword research, but I've kind of, it's funny because when I first launched my first couple items, it was like before the items even got to Amazon, I had all the pictures done, all the copy, everything, keyword research. It was like right when it hit Amazon, it was ready to go. Well, now that my business has grown, oh, and here's another thing. I used to think it took forever for my products to arrive. I'd be like, oh my goodness, waiting, I can't wait. Why is it taking so long? Production, shipping. Now I throw stuff in the pipeline so often, it's like, oh man, this item's already here? It's already at Amazon? Oh man. So like with this one, so I have fourth quarter that I'm like running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, right? A little bit, not quite like that. But with this item, it hit Amazon. I didn't have my images done yet. I had the copy done. I need to do the keyword research, which will take me probably about, you know, 30, 40 minutes. And then I'll be all ready to go. Now, one other tip that I want to tell you guys is you can really get ahead of the process on like the images and stuff. So I ship most of my stuff by sea now, just because it saves a lot of money. After I have my items shipped out by sea, I have a couple of the mass production sent to me and a couple of my photographers. And then that way I can have the images all ready to go once the item comes in. Now this one I delayed a little bit, procrastinated, because I had a bunch of other stuff I was trying to do for fourth quarter. But again, no excuses, right? I should have had it done. Anyways, so that's another tip for you guys. Make sure once you get your mass production done, don't wait for it to get to Amazon, then do a fulfillment order to yourself, then start taking images. And don't do what I did and just wait around. No matter what you have, you can always schedule out a little time for this. So anyways, off to the grocery store, and then talk to you guys soon.
So where do I grocery shop at? I'm basically shopping at Amazon even right now still. Supporting Mr. Bezos.
All right, leaving Target. What's cool is my Target, it actually is connected to the mall. So whenever I come to the mall, you know I gotta check out the newest basketball shoes at Foot Locker. Woo! The errands are officially over. Sometimes I get lost out there, I feel. Anyways, got food, groceries. I didn't buy any basketball shoes, but I definitely got to look at some. Had a sick photo shoot with my main man, Bruce. And now I'm heading back, and time to do some keyword research. And I just looked on my phone, and what's cool about Bruce is he'll hit me with all the raw images right away, and then I can start putting some stuff up, because I need to get some pictures up just so I can start selling on this listing. Anyways, heading back, and that's about it for now. Thanks for riding along with me, and I'll see you guys later.